on 97.
The time is 6:15. Here's the news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, read by Victor Raj. First, take a look at the headlines of the local news. The Presidential Commission to inquire into the political victimization hands over its reports to the President. Mr. Nalaka Silva says there were no issues between him and former Director of the State Intelligence Service Nilantha Jayawardena. Minister Dalat Alhaperuma points out that Tamba Pavani wind power plant is a milestone in energy generation. State Minister Dr. Sudarsani Fernandapul emphasizes that unnecessary fear in people about COVID-19 should be removed. Special programs planned for the 95th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Foreign news, Indian experts investigate a mystery illness. Sports news, Australia wins the third T20 international against India. Local news in detail. The final report of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing political victimization was handed over to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the Presidential Secretariat today. Chairman of the Commission, retired Supreme Court Justice Upali Aberatna, handed over the report to the President this morning. The three-member commission was appointed on the 9th of January. The report is made up of 2,000 pages and 3 volumes. President Rajapaksa appointed the Presidential Commission of Inquiry to inquire into political victimizations that occurred between 8th January 2015 and 16th November 2019. The commission was to look into and obtain information on political victimizations caused by the activities of the Financial Crimes Investigation Division, the Bribery Commission, and the Police Special Investigation Unit during the said period. 1,971 complaints were received by the Presidential Commission. Retired Appeal Court Justice Daya Chandrasri Jayatilaka and retired IGP Chandra Fernando are the other 2 members of the Commission. Former DIG of Terrorist Investigation Division Nalaka Silva says that although former Director of State Intelligence Service Nilantha Jayawardena has said that State Intelligence Service did not give information on Islamic terrorism to Terrorist Investigation Division due to a problem of Nalaka Silva, there was no such issue. He was giving evidence before the Presidential Commission to inquire into Easter Sunday attacks today. Mr. Nalaka Silva has been summoned to the Commission today to question on recordings of several telephone conversations between Mr. Nalaka Silva and Mr. Namal Kumara, who revealed about the conspiracy to assassinate former President Maithripala Sirisena and President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. It was revealed at the Commission today that Namal Kumara with some of his friends had planned to assassinate former commanding officer of the Special Task Force, Senior DIG M.R. Latif. Mr. Nalaka Silva said that former IGP Pooja Jayasundara sent Namal Kumara to him as an informant. He said that information on the places where Rohingya refugees were staying was obtained from him. The Commission asked about the statement of Mr. Nalaka Silva stating that former State Intelligence Service Director Nilantha Jayawardena receiving financial assistance from Indian intelligence. Mr. Nalaka Silva said that he discussed such issues to understand the character of Namal Kumara. He said that since the trust was broken when working with Namal Kumara, they stopped using him as an informant and informed it to the IGP. He further said it is a question as to how Mr. Nilantha Jayawardena received the recordings. Minister Dalasala Peruma says that the Tamba Pavani wind power complex is a milestone in renewable energy sector in the country. He said that it is and investment in the environment of the country. The minister was speaking today at the opening ceremony of the Sri Lanka's biggest wind power plant built in Mannar. He said that laying foundation stone for the country's first LNG power plant next month is another significant event in the process. He added that there would be a revolutionary change in the energy sector in the future. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with more local news. State Minister Sudarshana Fernandopulle says that the unnecessary fear in people about COVID-19 should be eliminated. She said that due to the fear, the infected persons try to hide the illness and it leads to many issues. She mentioned this during the COVID-19 Review Committee meeting today. She said that there is a wrong opinion in the society about the infected persons and the public should be educated constantly to solve the problem. She further said that the President has instructed to conduct funerals of the persons infected with COVID-19 at government expenses if their families have economic difficulties. The discussion, which took place at the Ministry of Health under the patronage of State Minister Sudarshana Fernandopulle, was attended by the heads of institutions who take actions to control COVID-19. Several special programs have been planned to be conducted in connection with the 95th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The official ceremony will be held on the 16th of this month. Among the programs are the launching of Radio Magazine, a pen drive representing various eras, new radio theme, and issuing of a commemorative stamp. A period chanting and almsgiving invoking blessings on the country and the people will be held on the 16th of this month. Religious programs will be held at Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim and Christian places of worship. A ritual called Kiri Koraha conducted by the indigenous people will be held at the main office of SLBC in Colombo on that day. An island-wide essay competition for children will be conducted to mark the occasion. Arrangements have been made to hold a musical show with the participation of popular artists on the 16th of this month. It has been planned to broadcast a series of Dhamma sermons over single national service to coincide with the 95th anniversary of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Accordingly, Buddhist sermons delivered by Buddhist monks who have passed away and others will be broadcast between 10th and 16th of this month at 5 a.m. over the single national service. A Dhamma sermon delivered by late Venerable Palane Sri Vajrayana Thera will be broadcast at 5 a.m. on the 16th. A Dhamma sermon delivered by the Venerable Professor Madagoda Abhetissa will be broadcast at 8 a.m. and a Dhamma sermon by Venerable Kompiti Sri Susila Thero will be broadcast at 8 p.m. on that day. The programs are conducted under the guidance of Chairman of SLBC Jagat Vikramasinghe and Director General Chandrapala Liyanage. General Secretary of Sri Lanka Freedom Party State Minister Dayasri Jayasekara says that they will move forward while protecting the government. He said that they have no necessity to join the opposition. He expressed these views to media when he arrived today to give evidence on the Easter Sunday attacks to the Presidential Commission. That ends local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The epidemiology unit of the health minister says that another 454 patients who had been infected with COVID-19 have recovered and discharged from hospitals within the last 24 hours. This increases the total number of coronavirus recoveries in Sri Lanka to 21,258. Meanwhile, 703 positive cases of COVID-19 and 2 deaths related to the virus have been reported within the last 24 hours. A total of 7,180 infected patients are currently being treated at hospitals, while the death toll from the virus stands at 142. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board says water supply for all by-roads, including the Kurunegala-Colombo Road and Kagal Road, will be suspended tomorrow for 24 hours. The water cut will be imposed from 9 a.m. tomorrow until 9 a.m. on Thursday. That came to you on Watchlight. Moving on to world news, let's take a look at the headlines first. Indian experts investigate mystery illness. Australia is to debate a bill to make Google and Facebook pay for news. Japan is to fund artificial intelligence matchmaking to boost birth rate. World news in detail. India is rushing a team of medical experts to southern Andhra Pradesh state after a mystery illness killed one and sent hundreds of to hospital. An MP from the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party said that preliminary blood tests have revealed high amounts of lead and nickel. Doctors and patients showed a wide range of symptoms from nausea to fit and fainting. This comes as India battles a pandemic with a high coronavirus caseload. Australia is to introduce a bill into Parliament that would force Facebook and Google to pay news outlets for featuring their journalism. The Australian government said that the world's first laws would mandate a process for news outlets to negotiate fair payments for their work. The government said currently a power imbalance favors the big tech firms. The tech giants have vehemently opposed the laws, which they say will damage reader access. Japan plans to boost its tumbling birth rate by funding artificial intelligence matchmaking schemes to help residents find love. From next year it will subsidize local governments already running of starting projects that use artificial intelligence to pair people up. Last year, the number of babies born in Japan fell below 865,000, a record low. The fast-growing nation has long been searching for ways to revise one of the world's lowest fertility rates. Boosting the use of AI tech is one of its latest efforts. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Indian experts investigate mystery illness. Australia is to debate a bill to make Google and Facebook pay for news. Japan is to fund artificial intelligence matchmaking to boost birth rate. That ends world news. Moving on to development news. The Cabinet of Ministers approved to increase the number of national schools in the island to 1,000, covering all district secretariats. The proposal was made by Education Minister Professor G.L. Pires. Accordingly, the program is planned to be implemented in 3 phases, and the Education Minister presented a proposal to develop one selected provincial council school as a national school in each of the 123 divisional secretariat divisions in which there are no national schools under the first phase of the project. Another 673 schools selected on the basis of identified criteria as national schools are scheduled to be upgraded under the second phase, and it is also expected to uplift the standard of existing 373 national schools under the third phase of the project. That came to you in Development News. Moving on to sports news. The third T20 International of the India Tour of Australia was played in Sydney. Batting first, Australia scored 186 for 5 wickets in 20 overs. In reply, India scored 174 for 7 wickets in 20 overs. Accordingly, Australia won the match by 12 runs. An Argentine senator has proposed putting an image of the late football star Diego Maradona on new banknotes. Maradona, who led Argentina to the 1986 World Cup title, died 2 weeks ago at the age of 60. Senator Norma Durango presented the bill to Congress on Monday to get the late player on the 1,000-peso note, the highest denomination. She said it would feature Maradona's face on one side and a picture of one of his most famous goals on the other. That ends sports news. Moving on to business news, GLO Shop and Cafe was opened recently in Battaramulla with emphasis on fresh, healthy and natural food products, providing over 70 entrepreneurs and small businesses the opportunity to showcase and sell their products. The shop comprises of 5 main zones: fresh produce, poultry, meats and seafood, groceries, non-food section and a cafe. Grounded Indian courier Jet Airlines may take to the skies again as early as summer next year. A consortium of UAE-based businessmen Murari Lal Jalal and London's Carlro Capital won the bid to revive the airline. The airline has been grounded since April last year. That came to you on Business News.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Information, Communication and Technology Service experts have grown 5.22% year-on-year 2019. ICT has been an identified area for potential growth as an export industry by both the industry and the broader exports supporting stakeholders. ICT has grown from $1,000.035 billion industry in 2018 to $1,000.089 billion industry in 2019. Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga has announced a fresh round of stimulus for the Japanese economy. The 73.6 trillion yen package is expected to include subsidies for green investment and spending on digitalization. The additional spending is aimed at pulling the country out of its coronavirus-induced economic slump. That ends economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, on to the weather report. The Met Department shows several spells of showers will occur in the northern, eastern and over provinces and in Anuradhapura and Hambantota districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in Sabaragamu, central and western provinces and in Gaul and Mathura districts in the night. That ends the weather report. To bring to an end the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The Presidential Commission to Inquire into Political Victimization hands over its report to the President. Ms. Nalaka Silva says there was no issues between him and former Director of the State Intelligence Service Nilantha Jayawardena. Minister Dalasala Peruma points out that Thamba Pavani wind power plant is a milestone in energy generation. State Minister Dr. Sudarshan Efrandapulle emphasizes that unnecessary fear in people about COVID-19 should be removed. Special programs planned for the 95th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Foreign news, Indian experts investigate a mystery illness. Sports news, Australia wins the third T20 International against India. With that, we wrap up the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka. Back to my good friend and yours, Prashan.